just straight into it. Watch Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece make an announcement about Al Sharpton that he's going down. She destroyed him. Al Sharpton does not represent black people. He is a race baiter who attempted to make millions of dollars by inciting racial tensions. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece, Dr. Alveda King, appeared on Fox News recently to destroy Al Sharpton. She said Al Sharpton is another comedy of errors. God appointed Jesus of Nazareth, not Al Sharpton.
Welcome, everybody. Great show tonight. I'd say that every night, but boy, I'm looking forward to these guests. The message to Republicans seems to be rally your base. Maybe now's the time you try rallying the other guy's base. Because for all Republicans' inroads, they're still pretty much stuck in park when it comes to wooing black voters. No group remains as overwhelmingly loyal to Democrats and overwhelmingly averse to Republicans as African Americans. Republicans might be looking at their midterm chances of even taking the Senate, building on their majority in the House, and say, well, who really cares? We're going to win anyway. Maybe in a couple of weeks, but no less than Rand Paul is worried, maybe not in a couple of years. The Kentucky senator and presumed presidential candidate says that the Grand Old Party has to start making more than grand old gestures to the African American community. For his part, Paul is convinced that he could get 30% of the black vote. Keep in mind, Mitt Romney got about 5% of that vote. Senator Paul says the key will be offering an inspiring case for unfettered capitalism versus constantly frittering government, not by pandering to African Americans, but simply talking to African Americans. He points to a war on poverty that has failed and trillions of dollars spent that has been essentially wasted. He is right on many aspects, but no less than the niece of Martin Luther King Jr. warns if he is pitching numbers, this latest Republican outreach will fail, as so many others have as well. And maybe longer term, so will the chances of advancing onto the White House. Dr. Alveda King says Republicans need to offer more than token efforts because many African Americans are getting increasingly frustrated by a Democratic Party she says has taken them for granted. With me now, Dr. King, author of King Rules, 10 Truths for You, Your Family, and Our Nation to Prosper. What I love about having Dr. King on is she ticks off everyone, which is a fair and balanced approach we try to take with our guests. Doctor, very good to have you. How you doing?
You know, I'm doing great, Neil, and I really do respect journalism with integrity, and I get that when I visit you, and so I'm really glad to say hello, and it's just greatly appreciated.
All right, I'll get that cash envelope right after the show. Let me ask you, though, I'm thinking what you're saying and the message you're relaying, it's the latest Newsmax elsewhere. What do you think your uncle would be saying, your dad would be saying? There's always been a collective view, Democrats hear us, Republicans don't.
Well, I believe if my dad, Reverend A.D. King, were here and my uncle, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., would be here, he would say, let's be serious. This is a time to really educate the population, educate the African American community, not tell the voters to stay home. That's kind of like voter suppression, but to educate, inform. You know, there's a comedy of errors in that so much has been occurring in this nation not to help the African American community, but not just the African American community, the little soccer mom at home, the single mother. You know, we're already worried about ISIS or Ferguson. And then we come back now with Ebola. I mean, it's too much stress for a family. The two parents struggling, the middle-class family that's struggling to pay school loans and the mortgage and all that. And then you come back with Ebola. When is the comedy of error going to end? When are we going to come up with solutions?
Senator Paul and others, Chris Christie comes to mind, have been saying we can certainly do better with the African-American vote. What is it they're not saying, not getting, not doing?
During the last 7 years, the African-American unemployment rate, 35%. That's a shame and a disgrace.
So why do they vote in lockstep with Democrats?
People have not really been educated, do not understand that voting for the color of someone's skin has not repaired the problems. And so, you know, this trend can't be reversed. We've got a plan at RestoreTheDream2014.com. It's a new initiative and effort where we're going to go across America and educate the communities as to how we can pull ourselves up by our bootstraps.
Al Sharpton says yours is not the message they should be hearing.
Al Sharpton, another comedy of errors anointed by President Obama.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
You know, God anointed Jesus of Nazareth, not Al Sharpton, you know. And so I'm very disturbed when, for instance, when he went to Ferguson and things escalated. No justice, no peace. We're going to be angry. We're taking a message of peace, sanity, and solutions. And he's not offering that.
Yeah, it just more incites trouble. Dude, I want you to listen to you mentioned
wow.
Sharpton and his close ties to the White House. The president was on his radio show.
That last part where she said, and he's not offering that. That was the most important part of everything she just said.
Yesterday, commenting about all these Democrats who left him and how they'll come back into the fold after the election. Listen to this.
A lot of the states that are contested this time are states that I didn't win. And so some of the candidates there, it is difficult for them to have me in the state. The bottom line is, though, these are all folks who vote with me. They have supported my agenda in Congress.
He kind of threw them under the bus to say, well, they're saying something different now, but if they get reelected, they're going to go back to, marching to my tune.
This is exactly what the president has said, and recently he said something only African Americans will understand, this reference about Cousin Pookie. And so that's the one who maybe is not as sharp or as informed. We want every African American to be informed, educated, sustained, and helped. And we do have solutions at Restore the Dream 2014.com.
Do your Restore solutions involve the government?
A smaller government. We support government. We believe that the government has a role. But we want people to invest in dignity, invest in opportunities to be educated, to be helped, to serve the community and be served. And that is not the message that the government handouts are giving our people.
Now, maybe given your notoriety and who you are and your lineage, you've heard all the attacks. Fellow Democrats, African Americans who say you're the Uncle Tom, Aunt Tom, whatever, how do you deal with that? And for those African Americans who want to reach out and go beyond that stigma and be always in lockstep with Democrats, whether their programs work or not?
I believe that my uncle, actually, my granddaddy was a Republican, but Martin Luther King Jr. was more of an independent, my dad too. And I have voted for conservatives, supported conservatives.
What are family dinners like in your household? Do you have food tasters or what?
No, we actually don't.
Are you like their little communists? What are
we put aside differences and just love each other during the holidays. And
What's
I think that's a good habit. Well, we talk about turkey.
And then you get to the stuffing. Yeah. What worries a lot of folks is that Republicans talk a good game of trying to reach out to African Americans, but invariably they give up on it after a while. They say, well, there's really not much we can do to win. They're in lockstep in good times and in bad times with Democrats, so we can't crack that. How do they crack it? What do they got to say?
There are some very good, sincere Republican candidates and people in office. Like? Fewer Democrats, but a few.
Who do you like?
I don't want to say who I like yet.
Oh, come on.
I don't. Several of them, about 10 of them.
You like Rand Paul? What are you saying?
About 10. There are about 10 that I
Is
like.
He among
Dr. Carson, of course.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, I like him. So.
You got a favorite in the bunch?
Not yet.
Hillary Clinton, is she interesting?
She needs to stay home and pray real hard.
Oh! That's in 2014.
Line, I always think, and I asked you this last time, if your dad were alive, if your uncle were alive, and they were hearing what you were saying, we love you to death, obviously, would they be disappointed, or would they be, yeah, she gets it. This isn't about party. This is about principle.
They were preachers, not politicians, and I'm becoming a preacher. More so than a politician.
Yeah, but your uncle was pretty savvy when it came to politics.
He was
had a bend and weave.
Well, more like Billy Graham, though. He was saying, I want to talk to everyone in office. I want to pray for those who are in authority. I want us to have a peaceful life. And that was his position. So I believe he would ask us to get more prayer going on. I really do.
Good for you. But I'd still like to bring a video camera to the next family gathering. See how that goes.
Mm-hmm. Come on over.
Dr. Alveda King, as classy as they get, does her family proud, does the nation proud. 1 week.
She's great. Democrats have somehow been able to convince black voters to support their party, even though it was the Dems of old who fought to keep the institution of slavery. I keep telling them that, but they don't want to hear it. I'm going to tell you why I think and what the reason is. Obama was able to secure the black voters for obvious reasons. But even he ignored the struggles of the black community. After 8 years of his policies, the black unemployment rate is extremely high at 35%, which Alveda considers a shame and a disgrace. Martin Luther King Jr. offered an influential message to all Americans detailing how to end discrimination. However, the Reverend's message of peace has been twisted to suit the needs of race baiters and domineers like Al Sharpton. That's right. Dr. King reiterates her uncle's message. The content of one's character is more important than the color of one's skin. Forgetting that, many black Americans did vote for Obama based on the content of his character. He made no concrete efforts to solve their problems. In fact, the presidency of Barack Obama has caused racial tensions to increase in America. Obama made race an issue when it never needed to be one, intentionally to divide the American people on a basis of class and creed. His importance to have leaders in the black community standings up against hate mongers like Al Sharpton. It is important to have leaders in the black community standing up against hate mongers like Al Sharpton. When Sharpton went to Ferguson, Missouri, he attempted to inflame conflict and demanding no justice, no peace, a message that is in direct opposition to the peaceful protest heralded by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Al Sharpton is at best an agitator and at worst a snake oil salesman. He pretends that black people are a monolith so he can gain power as their representative. This tactic has allowed him great influence in the White House. Of course. Perfect for Obama. It brought him right in. Sharpton would rather keep black people down because he makes a living off their oppression. All Americans need to be educated on issues facing our country, and anyone who promotes ignorance is an enemy. Heed the words of Dr. Alveda King. Al Sharpton is not your friend. Look, here's the thing. The Democrats preach free everything. You should get welfare. You should get this, you should get that. And when you are in an inner city and you're broke and you have no unemployment is down, the easiest thing to do is to get welfare. And if the government's telling you you're a good person by taking welfare and you don't have to get off and don't worry about it, they stay on it. But here's how we fix that. We do exactly what Trump has done. We drug test these people. I hate to say it, and I could be wrong. It's my opinion. Of most of them that are abusing the system just for money, that aren't working. I'm not talking about the families that need it, but let's be fair and say 50% of people who get welfare deserve it, and 50% doesn't. Well, even let's just say 30% don't, and 70% does. 30%, that's a lot of money we could save simply by drug testing them. Turns out they're on drugs, you're off welfare. Okay, they're not going to quit drugs for the money. They're going to have to get a job or get off of drugs and then get a job. Ultimately get a job. And once you take away welfare from the equation, then they will not vote Democrat. Then reasoning is going to kick in, and the people saying, listen, I know work sucks, but everyone has to do it. What we want to do is make it better. Take away crazy regulations for all the companies so they can pay you more. And that's how we fix this. I mean, that's a big step. And why do you think Trump did that? Because that's how we fix this. Trump's playing chess. He's like 700 moves ahead of us. He's been planning this for 10 years. Or more. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but he I'm sure the guy knows everything he's doing is just spot dead perfect. Media, wow. What I just said, they'd be laughing at. There might be someone who's watching my video from the left laughing at what I just said in awe. And if they only knew, one day they're going to wake up or they're going to go to jail. One of the two. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let us know what you think about this.